Clara watched Emma carefully as the little girl curled up on the couch, clutching her stuffed rabbit tightly. Mark had stepped into the kitchen to make some tea, giving the two of them a quiet moment alone. Clara's heart punched with a mixture of nerves and tenderness. She had agreed to step into an unfamiliar role, but this was the moment where words mattered most, not just to Mark, but to Emma, who had so little experience trusting strangers. "Emma," Clara said softly, crouching down beside the couch, "I know this is all new for you. I'm not your mommy, but I'd like to be someone who can care for you and have fun with you when your dad is busy." Emma's big eyes, still wary, studied her. "Like a friend?" she asked cautiously, her voice small. Clara smiled. "Exactly. A friend who's here for you. Someone who can read stories with you, help you with your toys, and just be around when you need a little extra help or someone to talk to." Emma shifted closer, hugging her rabbit a little tighter. "Can you read me a story now?" Clara's chest warmed. She picked up the colorful storybook on the coffee table, opening it to a page with bright illustrations. As she read, she animatedly gave voices to each character, making Emma giggle at the silly antics of the animals in the book. For the first time that morning, Clara felt the walls Emma had built around herself begin to crumble. The little girl leaned against her, trusting her presence, laughing freely. Mark, standing quietly in the doorway, watched the scene unfold. His chest tightened with a mix of relief and awe. He hadn't imagined that a stranger could touch his daughter's heart so gently, so effortlessly. Yet here she was bringing warmth, laughter, and a sense of security into the small, crowded apartment. As the story ended, Emma looked up at Clara with wide, trusting eyes. "I like you," she said simply, her voice full of sincerity. Clara felt her own eyes sting. She smiled, brushing a strand of hair from Emma's face. "I like you too, Emma. Very much." Mark stepped forward, emotion churning in his chest. He realized that this wasn't just about having someone help with chores or childcare. It was about love, patience, and the small moments that build trust and connection. In that quiet living room, with the afternoon sunlight spilling in, a fragile new family began to form, one built not out of obligation, but out of care, warmth, and hope. Mark Saturday at the kitchen table, Emma's small hand still in his as she doodled with crayons on a piece of scrap paper. Clara had been helping him for a few hours, tidying up, playing quietly with Emma, and even preparing a simple lunch. The apartment already felt lighter, warmer, less like a place that existed only as a shelter from the chaos outside. Yet Mark's heart pounded as he realized it was time to ask the question he had been rehearsing in his mind for days. "Clara," he began, his voice catching slightly. She looked up from folding a small shirt Emma had left crumpled on the chair. Her eyes met his, calm and expectant, as if she already knew something important was coming. "I know this is going to sound strange." Clara tilted her head, encouraging him to continue. "It's just, Emma needs more than I can give sometimes. I mean, I love her more than anything, but," he trailed off, searching for the words. Clara's gentle nod urged him forward. "What if I asked you to act as her mother? Just for a little while?" Mark's words stumbled out, awkward and hesitant. "Not in a permanent way. Not to replace anyone. Just to help her feel safe, cared for, like there's someone there when I can't always be." Clara blinked, a flicker of surprise passing across her face. Then, slowly, she placed her hand over his, steadying the nervous energy in the room. "Mark," she said softly, "I understand. And it's a big responsibility, but I think I can do that. I want to help you and Emma." Emma, overhearing the tail end of the conversation, looked up, wide-eyed. You'll be like my mommy." Her voice was tentative, a mixture of hope and fear. Clara crouched down to meet her gaze, smiling warmly. "Not exactly your mommy," she said gently, "but I can be someone who loves you and looks out for you. Someone you can talk to, play with, and count on when your dad's busy." Emma's tiny face relaxed, her fingers unconsciously twining with her bunny's ears as if testing whether this new arrangement was safe. "Okay," she whispered. Then, after a pause, she added, "I like you." Mark felt a lump form in his throat, his chest tightening with relief and gratitude. He had been terrified of rejection, from Clara, from Emma, even from himself, but hearing those two simple words from his daughter was like a balm to his frayed nerves. Clara smiled at him, and in that moment, the three of them formed an unspoken bond, a fragile but promising start to something new, something filled with warmth, trust, and hope. Mark's phone buzzed nervously on the kitchen counter. He had spent the morning tidying up, wiping down countertops, and doing a half-hearted sweep of the living room, all in anticipation of this meeting. He wasn't sure what he expected, someone who would quietly step in, help with Emma, and leave without leaving a mark. Or someone who might actually connect with him in a way he desperately needed. The doorbell rang, sharp and decisive, breaking his thoughts. Mark's stomach fluttered as he wiped his palms on his jeans. "Emma, someone's here," he called softly. A cautious, almost shy voice responded, "Coming." Emma shuffled to the door, tugging at her bunny, her hair slightly tangled from a morning of play. Mark opened the door, revealing Clara, a woman in her early 30s with warm eyes and a gentle smile. She carried no bags, no formal introduction, just herself, seemingly aware of the fragility of this first encounter. "Hi, Mark," she said. Her tone was calm, but friendly, as if she were meeting an old friend for the first time. "And you must be Emma." Emma peeked out from behind her father, suspicious but intrigued. Clara crouched slightly, bringing herself down to Emma's level. "I've heard a lot about you," she said softly. "I hope I can be a good helper." Mark exhaled, feeling a flicker of relief. There was something in Clara's demeanor, a quiet confidence combined with genuine warmth, that immediately put him at ease. "Thank you for coming," he said. "I know this is a little unusual." Clara smiled, tilting her head. "It's okay," she said. "I know it can feel strange at first. But I like children, and I've helped families before. I think we'll get along." Emma, still clutching her bunny, took a tentative step forward. Clara extended her hand, letting the girl sniff and inspect her carefully, as children do when deciding if someone is safe. "Hi, Emma," Clara said again, this time with a small, playful grin. "Do you want to show me your favorite toy?" Emma's eyes lit up, and she led Clara to a pile of colorful blocks scattered across the floor. Mark watched from the doorway, his chest tightening with cautious hope. Maybe this wasn't just about practical help. Maybe Clara could become the person he and Emma needed, someone who could bring warmth, patience, and laughter back into their little apartment. For the first time in weeks, Mark felt the weight of exhaustion ease slightly. He didn't know what the future held, but as he watched Clara playfully stack blocks with Emma, he allowed himself a small, fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, things could get better. The apartment was quiet except for the soft tick of the kitchen clock and the occasional thump of a toy rolling across the floor. Sunlight spilled through the half-open blinds, illuminating stacks of unpaid bills, a teetering pile of laundry, and a sink crowded with dishes. Mark, a single dad in his mid-30s, rubbed his temples as he stared at the chaos around him. Every corner of the apartment seemed to whisper reminders of what he couldn't manage alone. "Emma, honey, can you pick up your toys, please?" he called, trying to keep his voice calm. From the other room came a small, muffled, "Okay, Daddy." Mark sighed, pacing to the kitchen and glancing at the bills again. Rent, utilities, groceries, everything seemed to be piling up faster than he could keep up. He had a stable job, yes, but juggling work, parenting, and household responsibilities felt like an impossible juggling act. He loved his daughter more than anything in the world, but he often wondered if his best simply wasn't enough. A faint sound of laughter drew his attention. Emma had dragged a chair to the window and was trying to make the neighbor's cat come closer, waving a small piece of bread. Her tiny hands, full of determination, reminded him why he kept going. Yet, he couldn't shake the gnawing worry that he was failing her in ways that mattered. He sank into the worn couch, massaging his forehead. "I just need a little help," he muttered to himself. The thought had been growing louder over the past few weeks. He couldn't keep pretending that he had it all under control. One evening, after missing yet another parent-teacher meeting, he realized that he needed someone, not just a babysitter, but a presence that could help fill the gaps, someone Emma could connect with in a way he sometimes couldn't. Mark pulled out his phone, scrolling through contacts he didn't feel like calling. No one seemed right. Then, in a moment of quiet desperation, he paused and typed a message to a local community group, looking for someone kind, patient, who can help around the house and spend time with my daughter. Single dad, just trying to make things work. He hit send and leaned back, staring at the ceiling. For the first time in weeks, he allowed himself a small glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, someone out there could help him, help them. And as he watched Emma laugh at the cat outside, he whispered softly, "We'll be okay. Somehow, we'll be okay."